Okay, so if you have a hair transplant clinic, there are 7 places where you are leaking patients. Your clinics may be generating thousands of inquiries every month and still leaving a significant amount of surgery revenue on the table. The problem isn't always lead volume, patients leak out at multiple stages across the journey. And I'm going to explain in this video how to stop those leaks. So the first thing is understanding the full patient journey. So every conversation gap is a revenue gap. Map the journey end to end, then measure what falls through at each stage. So you have the inquiry, the initial contact from the prospective patient, and then you have the response. So a timely follow-up to convert interest. Then you have the qualification to assess suitability, readiness for care, and then the consultation, clinical discussion to plan treatment. And between each of these stages, you're going to lose patients. If your clinic generates 2,000 inquiries but only delivers 50 surgeries, the question shouldn't be how do we get more inquiries? It should be where did the other 1,950 patients go? Did they go home? Did they go to another client? Did they forget you? Did they stop replying? Did they become annoyed by your messages? You need to look at where these patients disappear to. Next, leak number 1 is inquiry to the response. The first leak happens immediately. A patient submits an inquiry, sends a WhatsApp or calls, and the response is too slow or nobody takes proper ownership of the conversation. So how fast, how quickly are new inquiries contacted for submission? Or after the submission, you need to make sure it's timely and on point. Who owns it? Is there a named coordinator responsible for each inquiry, or is everybody managing all the leads? And no answer. So what happens if the patient doesn't pick up the first time? What do you do then? Is there protocols in place? And also follow up. How many attempts are made to the lead, to the inquiry, to the patient before you count it as a lost lead? How many times? If it's just 1 or 2 or 3, that's not enough. You need to do more. Next is leaks 2 and 3. So response to qualification to the consultation. So the qualification is to know who you're talking to. A patient ready for surgery next month should not be treated the same as someone casually researching for next year. Without proper qualification, your coordinators burn their time, waste their time on low intent inquiries while high intent patients go cold. So next is booking the consultation. Interest is not commitment. A qualified, suitable patient who has shared their photos and information can still fall through if there's no clear structured process to convert. If someone says, I'm interested, you have to be able to convert them into I've booked. The clinic needs to know exactly how many qualified patients reach this stage but never book. So track this number. It's one of the most revealing metrics in your entire funnel. So you have ready now, researching, people who need nurturing, and people who are not suitable. You need to categorize your inquiries into these categories here. Okay, next is leak number 4. So from the consultation to the deposit, the patient has spoken to the clinic, discussed their hair loss, and received a price. Then they say, I'll think about it, and the follow-up becomes inconsistent. The problem often isn't a lack of interest, it's an unresolved objection. Understanding why patients aren't depositing and paying the deposit is far more valuable than simply marking them as lost. You need to understand why they disappeared after the consultation. Is it price, because budget concerns or sticker shock? Is it the trust, uncertainty about the clinic or surgeon? Is it family or partner? Do they need sign-off from a loved one, for example? Is it timing that maybe they're not ready to commit right now? Are they comparing, still evaluating? Is there result uncertainty? They're not convinced about the results that they're going to receive from your clinic. If you just say, oh, the inquiry is lost, then you don't understand the reason. You need to find out and basically write down what the reason is. So leak number 5 is deposit to surgery. The journey doesn't stop here. A deposit is a major milestone, but the patient isn't fully secured. Between paying and arriving, real life can intervene. Continued, structured engagement from deposit to surgery day is essential, not optional. So after they've paid the deposit, you still need to make sure you stick with them every single day. You're following up with them, you're talking with them, you're sending information, and you're keeping yourself at the forefront of their mind. Because you have cancellation or postponement that happens, financial changes happen, travel or logistics problems, and competing clinics make contact back with them. For example, if your hair transplant costs $3,000 and then they pay your deposit, but then another clinic comes and offers them for half the price, they may have to go there. The only reason they're going to choose you is not because, even though they're saving money, even though they're paying more money with you, then there needs to be other reasons. And it's normally when you show that you care about them and that you follow up with them and that you talk with them on a personal level. So, leak number 6 and 7 is the CRM graveyard, your biggest hidden opportunities. One of the largest leaks in the patient is the patients the clinic has already forgotten. They exist in your CRM, marked as lost and rarely contacted ever again. So old inquiries that are never followed up with properly. No response leads, so you've tried to message them once and then you abandon them. People who say call me later and then received a quote but never booked. People who are cancel patients, they dropped out after the deposit or before the deposit. These are people who are in your CRM right now that you can have a structure, follow-up structure going out to them every single day. If you don't know how to do this or how to automate it or how to have your coordinators do it, then you need to learn how to do it. For example, I can teach you how to do it and show you how to do it. Because some people have limited resources. They only have 1 or 2 or 3 coordinators. And the coordinators need to talk with your inquiries that are coming in every day, today, tomorrow, the next day, but they also need to reach out to old inquiries. For example, didn't buy today does not mean they're never going to buy. Just because they didn't buy 3 months ago doesn't mean they're never going to buy. A structured reactivation process can turn a forgotten database back into consultations, deposits, and surgeries. So you need a reactivation process in your business. So that's the last of these points. This is the main point here that I'd say is one of the most important. You need to make sure you have a reactivation process in your hair transplant clinic so that you can take on more clients and attract more patients. If you don't have a reactivation process or a follow-up process that continues into the future, day after day, week after week, then you're going to lose many inquiries. Many people have 2,000 inquiries coming in every month, but they lose majority of them. You don't want to look at them just as being lost. You need to make sure you have a activation and reactivation and follow-up process that goes out to all the inquiries so that you can make sure you're building a conversation with them to see if they are interested in having the hair transplant. So if you need more help or you want more advice like this, just check out my channel for more videos.